Good evening, boys and girls. Are you sitting comfortably?
Probably. Who cares anyway?
Then we'll begin. Once upon a time, in the city of Rocktropolis, there were 3 little girls.
They formed a band.
They were called
The Teeth of Time.
These 3 girls were sisters.
One was wise, one was beautiful, and one blew things up.
Did she actually blow things up?
Yes, she was very good at it.
Okay. Where were we? Oh, yes.
Right, okay.
Are you telling a story or am I?
No, you are.
Are you going to shut up?
No, I'm going to interrupt.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So, every 4 years, there comes to pass that there shall be an incredibly large set of sporting events.
We call them the Olympics.
The Olympics.
Not like the Olympics.
No, the Olympics. These are very big sporting events.
Lots of people watch them.
More people than that.
They are so important.
That everybody sends representatives. And the Teeth of Time.
The Teeth of Time
were important. They were heroes within the city of Rocktropolis.
They were heroes.
And so they got sent to watch the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
I said Olympics. You're supposed to say Olympics.
Look, you've got me at it now.
Limpets, limpets, limpets. Shut up!
Opening ceremony of the Olympics. It was very exciting.
There were lights.
Yes.
There were people.
Yes.
There was candy floss.
Candy floss?
I like candy floss.
You would. Where was that?
Candy floss.
Candy floss! Yes, candy floss! Lots of people sitting in a stadium.
100,000 of them.
And television crews broadcasting to the entire world.
100 million people.
Everybody around the world watching. It was going to be fantastic.
If we had a bigger budget, we'd both have said that at the same time. But we don't.
So we won't. Where was it?
Fantastic.
Oh, yes.
Opening ceremony.
Yes. High in their VIP, which is very important personage's box.
Yes.
The Teeth of Time sat, sipping iced fizzy stuff.
Not champagne, because that's got alcohol in it, and that's bad for you.
Yes.
You should not desecrate the temple of your body with spirituous liquors.
What he said. Anyway, they were sipping their fizzy drinks.
Yes.
Eating their ice cream.
Yes.
And their candy floss.
Yes.
Suddenly the lights all dimmed.
Yes.
Everybody was ready for the Olympics. Were in Brazil. Brazil is the home of carnival.
Everyone was expecting a spectacular. Not just a spectacular, but a spectacular.
Yes. The stadium went dark, really dark. Everyone was excited. Nervous tension ran around the stadium. And then
Nothing.
Nothing happened. The pause grew longer and longer and longer. And then there was a strange click noise.
Like somebody had pushed a lever.
There was a hissing noise,
Reminiscent to those old people of the sound of a cassette.
and then a slow build-up of keyboards.
Not just one, but many keyboards. All played by one person whose hands move very quickly and have the magic of MIDI.
What's MIDI?
It's magic.
What's magic?
MIDI.
A keyboard player would understand. The sound of these keyboards swelled. And then the sound
drums.
And then the sound
Of a bass guitar.
playing sort of in time to the drums.
But it wasn't time, as anybody else knew that.
No, it wasn't a 4/4 beat like you get in a proper song.
Or a 3/4 beat that you get in a waltz.
It was in 13/72.
What's 13/72?
I daren't say the word.
No, you can't possibly mean.
Yes, I can.
You can't possibly mean. Yes, I can. Prog rock.
The teeth of time looked at each other.
The stadium became nauseated.
Do you know what I think?
Said the eldest of the teeth of time.
I think I do.
Said the middlest of the three.
This sounds like the work of...
Said the fourth. And then in unison, but we can't do that because we've got a low budget.
The three girls looked at each other and said, "It's the evil Progmeister,
Wicked Chris."
We must help." The three girls legged it out of their special box. Which way? Where are the screams of anguish?
Asked one.
This way,
Said the other.
and they legged it. Let us just fill in a little bit of backstory here. Wicked Chris, the evil Progmeister, lives in Progsville, which was a small and dingy and mostly forgotten suburb of
Rocktropolis.
His main drive in life was to try and get everybody in the world to listen to prog rock,
Which has its place.
but not in most people's collection. But he'd try all sorts of nasty and dastardly things if he could get everybody that was watching the Olympics, especially the opening ceremony,
That's 100 million people all the way around the world.
and the 100,000 people in the stadium. He might get some of them to like prog rock
And then they might buy a record.
and understand how the keyboard solos can go on forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever,
And the bass guitar solos just go on for far too long.
even if they're only one note.
They go on for far too long.
And they play in weird time signatures.
And sing about stuff that sometimes matters and sometimes doesn't.
It's not necessarily.
The best of all music.
Some of it's okay,
Some of it isn't.
but not when it's forced on everybody who wants to watch a carnival.
No, this would be bad. Cutting back to the stadium.
The three girls ran along a corridor, up a flight of stairs, down a flight of stairs, around some more corridors, until finally, at the apex of the stadium,
Looking out over the stadium.
was the audio control box.
There was a crowd of people outside the control box.
"What's up?"
Said the girls.
"It's locked."
Said the crowd of people.
"I have a solution."
Said the youngest of the teeth of time.
"Stand back, everybody,"
What are you going to do?
said one of the onlookers.
You probably don't want to see.
My voice.
Sorry.
"You probably don't want to see."
Said the youngest of the teeth of time. And quick as a flash, from out of her bag, she pulled some plasticine.
"Plasticine?
Well, it looked like plasticine.
What, like that stuff you make silly models out of?
Yeah,
And you do like stop motion animation?
yeah.
What did you do with it?"
She stuck some on the door, a bit above the lock, a bit above the hinges, and put some bits of wire on them.
"Then what did she do?"
She held onto the other end of the wire. She ran down the corridor a little bit.
"Everybody get back!"
She said,
and touched the terminals with a battery.
BOOM!
There was a cloud of smoke. Thankfully they had air conditioning. The cloud of smoke disappeared very quickly.
The door stood with a blackened mark over one hinge,
a blackened mark over the other hinge,
and a blackened mark over the lock.
What was supposed to happen?
Said one of the onlookers.
This,
said the youngest of the Teeth of Time, as the door slowly toppled over and landed with a boom, but a very small boom, compared to the one that had just gone boom.
The girls ran inside. The production console was a mess.
There were wires everywhere,
And there,
where there should have been some fancy bits of computery stuff,
was a very old
and slightly battered.
cassette player.
Wasn't that old though?
Why?
It was in stereo.
It's prog. It's got to be in stereo, surely.
Well, yeah, okay, that figures.
Playing on the cassette was the sound that everyone was listening to. The eldest of the Teeth of Time said, "I can solve this,"
How?
said the onlookers. The eldest reached forward and pressed the stop button. Once again there was silence throughout the stadium,
Followed very quickly by cheers.
and everyone went, "Yay! The prog has stopped,"
But what about the show?
said the onlookers.
We've got loads of people waiting downstairs to come out and carnival at everybody,
Well,
said the eldest.
with a little bit of studio engineering, I can put this right.
And quick as a flash, she whipped a toolkit out of her bag,
And pulling wires out,
sticking wires together,
and twisting things together,
she ended up
mounting the computer that should have been plugged in back in.
because they'd left it lying around.
If only we knew where the evil Progmeister might have put the discs that run the show.
The middlest of the three girls struck a pose,
She was very good at that.
and she said,
If I was the evil Progmeister, I would probably have just thrown them in the nearest waste paper basket,
"Where would that be?"
said the onlookers.
The middlest girl airily waved a hand.
Just there by the door.
She said,
Reached down into it,
pulled out a CD.
inserted it into the computer.
The eldest one pressed the play button, and
Carnival reigned.
the Olympics were opened.
It was fantastic.
Everybody had a really good time, except in a dingy suburb somewhere near the stadium.
Watching, wrong voice,
My bad.
watching on a battered old television.
The evil Progmeister, Wicked Chris,
Tore at his beard,
howled in anguish,
and squeaked in his rubber trousers.
but we don't care about him particularly.
Because the Olympics were saved, and everybody said, "Yay! Thank you, Teeth of Time!"
And so once again,
Teeth of Time, defenders of
Rocktropolis
saved the day from Wicked Chris, the evil.
Progmeister.
Good night, girls. Love you.